Hello my friends, it's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Happy Tuesday. I took a week off of Teach Me Tuesday videos last week because of New Color Week, but I am back again this week with a new Teach Me Tuesday video. And I'm showcasing some of the brand new products in the 2018-19 catalog. In fact, I am featuring the Nature's Poem set. Suite rather, a lot of it anyway, not all of it, but this is kind of the overview of what this suite is about. So this is the stamp set, very versatile stamp set. I used it on some swaps recently, so I still had it hanging around. So I thought I would do a little project for you today using that. This paper, which is gorgeous, is the front and back sides of the 12 sheets of paper that come in the Nature's Poem Designer Series paper pack. You can see these top four I used quite a bit of, so I don't have the full sheets left. But very kind of neutrally, you could very easily do this for masculine cards. It's very earthy, just really beautiful paper. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside for now. And then also I used some of the dies that coordinate with the stamp set as well. And this one is called the Nature's Roots Framelits. You can buy the stamp set and the dies in a bundle and save 10% too while it's brand new. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you what we're actually going to make, and then I will show you how I did it. So this is a great little gift card holder, or in this case, I have a little tea bag in it. So I'm just going to untie this so you can see. So I wrapped the twine around this, and I wrapped it under the Designer Series paper, so you can't see, but this is actually attached now. And then when you open it up, you have this cute little envelope, and I have a little tea bag in there, but you could easily put a gift card in here as well, and you could certainly decorate the inside as well. I did not do that today, but you could, and I probably would if I was going to give it to somebody. And I'm sure I will at some point, so then I will decorate it. But for today, I'm just going to show you the mechanics of how to make it, which is super simple. Like, it couldn't be any easier, I swear. All right, so you can actually get 2 of these out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So the measurements for this piece here is 8.5 by 4. So if you turn it on the 8.5 by the 8.5 side of an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper, you can get 2, and then you'll even have a little bit of paper left over. And then the scoring for this is really easy as well. It's just 3 and 6. So you're going to turn it on the long side and score it at 3, and then again at 6. And that's it. Easy peasy. So let me go ahead and put that away. And let's grab this. So then I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure these creases are really nice and tight here. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my bone folder for that. And then I'll fold the other side. Fold that way too. This shorter piece, as you can see, it's a little bit short, is going to be the flap for the tea bag or the gift card. So I'm going to go ahead and take a circle punch. I'm using a 1.5 inch circle punch. And you're just going to chop out like a half moon here so that you can do your folder part. Then I'm going to take my tear and tape adhesive, and I'm going to stick that right along the side here and tear that off, and then I'll do one more on the other side. And I did make this a little bit wider so that there'd be space for me to use this thicker strip, so that the gift card would fit in between those without a problem. So there's that. Then you're just going to kind of burnish it a little bit with your finger, make sure it's fully attached, and then you can usually pick up one of the corners to peel off the side. If one corner isn't working for you, just flip it around and try a different corner. Sometimes they're a little tricky. And I'm just going to burnish that and burnish that. And now we have our little pocket. Very easy, see? So then next I took a piece of pattern paper. It measures 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and that's going to go right on the front. But before you do that, you want to make sure you put your twine around here and wrap that around. And usually you want the twine in the back to be a little bit longer, because it has to go kind of a longer way to get to the other side, as they say. So I'm going to go ahead, shape this down over it. I'm just using the thin twine with this because I didn't want this paper to get too bulky with a big thick twine under here. So I'm just using the thin linen thread, but you could also use this really lovely twine that comes in the Nature's Poem twine set. There's actually 4 different colors that all match the paper. And then there's the mint macaron too. So those would all match beautifully. I just went with the thinner one because it would be easier to keep it flat. So then next I just kind of tied this to see how much I needed for the bow, because you want people to be able to tie and untie this. So I just kind of tied a bow here on the side. And you do want it to be a little bit floppier bow than normal probably, and you probably want to give yourself a little bit more ends, because remember, people are going to want to untie and tie it back up. So you don't want to make it too short, and then they can't do that themselves. All right, so there's that part. There's the base. Then I just took a strip of soft suede cardstock, which is one of the colors in the paper, and it's just 1 inch by 3 inches. And we'll just tape that flat. And I kind of used that to cover the ribbon. And attach that down. And you may need to, you may need to trim off a little on the edge because it won't go all the way to the very edge because of that bow. So I'm just going to snip that off carefully so you don't snip your ribbon to boot. Alright, so there's that. Like that. And then we're going to take the You're So Wonderful from the stamp set. I love the 2 main sayings, and I love all the sayings, but these 2, I love the fonts. They're just so pretty. And they're great because they take up some space, if you know what I mean. So when you're stamping and you need a sentiment that's kind of got some oomph and some like size to it, these are great. So I'm just going to stamp that on some Whisper white cardstock. That measured 2.5 by 1 1/4. And I am going to snip just a little thin banner end in here. So snip in the center, corner to center, and then corner to center. So you get that. Next I need to stamp a little image to go on this. So I'm going to take this scraggly little tree. I wasn't sure how I felt about him at first, but he's kind of growing on me, this little scraggly tree. I'm going to stamp it off once, and then I'm going to stamp it on here. So it's just the same color as this. Same. I didn't want to use Crumb Cake or another one because I wanted it to be the same tonal color as the soft suede, but I wanted it to be a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to take the coordinating die, and I'll run this through my Big Shot and cut that out, and that will give you your little tree. So now when I was putting it together, this, because it's kind of a wide, I actually think I trimmed it down some more. No, I didn't actually, because I measured the finished one. Never mind, don't listen to me. I wanted it to fit like right here, but if you notice, this whole thing covers the end of the tree. So what I did is I just snipped this tree trunk, and I taped the tree down first, and I kind of left the little corner untaped because I wanted to tuck this under there. So I left that corner kind of untaped so I could slip it under. Just tape that down, and then we'll take a little bit of regular adhesive here, and we'll stick that so that it kind of tucks under that tree branch, and just line it up with the edge like that. And then I just took the remainder of this little, oh, and I probably should have done that before I taped that down. Whoops. I took the remainder of this and I just tucked it under here. We can still do it. We'll just tuck it under here so it looks like it's just a taller tree. Like that. And then you have your finished gift card holder. And I'm just doing this because I taped the other end of the bow under here. There we go. Don't do that. Let me pull that back out. I'm like, how come I can't untie this? There we go. So now you have both ends, so you can actually untie that and do. And you would have your little either gift card holder or tea bag holder or whatever you wanted to put in there. And that's it. Super easy, super simple. I hope you liked this project. Don't forget, if you wanted to order online this week, through June 15th, I'm giving away a free embellishment to celebrate the brand new catalog to anybody that uses the host code U7NB3XGU, and I'll write that in the description of the video as well. If you use that at checkout at jenpitta.stampinup.net, you will get a free embellishment from me. Just use that code by June 15th. If your order is a big order and it's over 150, don't use that code because then you'll get host rewards, and I want you to make sure you get those. So do that, and then I will still give you the free embellishment as well. All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next week for Teach Me Tuesday. See you next time.